Hi everyone, it's Bethany from Madeline Jean Antiques Restoration. In this quick video, I'm going to show you guys how to apply polycrylic to a piece of furniture. Now, polycrylic has its pros and cons. I went through all my favorite top coats in a previous YouTube video, and I explained in depth the pros and cons to polycrylic. What I like about polycrylic, it's water-based. So the best thing about polycrylic, it won't yellow over time over a piece of white painted furniture. This is huge, people, because in the chalk painting furniture business, we use a lot of whites and light grays and things of that nature. And if you want a durable top coat, some people will recommend like a poly, like an oil-based poly. With those, they can turn your beautiful finished pieces yellow immediately, or over time, that poly can turn like an amber color, and we don't want that, right? So polycrylic is great for that. So polycrylic is made by Minwax. It says right there that it's water-based. They have different sheens, all the way from like matte, all the way up to semi-gloss. They have satin, they have full gloss. I'm gonna use the clear gloss today on a, I call it my modern glam vanity. I did some gold leafing on it, so I really want it to shine. So I've already put 2 coats of satin poly, of the polycrylic on top of this vanity, and now I'm gonna add the final layer, which is gonna be a super high gloss polycrylic. So a couple things before you start out. Don't shake your can. The biggest mistake people can make with their polycrylic is they shake the can. You don't want air bubbles forming inside the can, because those will transfer onto your pieces of furniture, and you don't want that. So stir slowly with a stir stick, okay? And don't dip your brush or your foam brush or any type of applicator into the can of the polycrylic, because I don't know if you can see here, it's very milky and white, the polycrylic, and you don't want any paint residue getting into your can and discoloring it. So my advice is get yourself some cheap cups, containers, pour it in there and use that for your project. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. Everything's been cleaned off. I do lightly sand in between my polycrylic coats, so I just want to make you aware of that. I'm going to change the camera angle here, and my dog Biscuit sneezes for some reason. I gotta look this up. Anybody know if anybody has a Chihuahua? When Biscuit gets excited, he sneezes like crazy. We should have named him Sneezy, but we didn't know that he had this cute little tick about him. But that's what you do, don't you? Do you want to show everybody before I start this? You sneeze, don't you? Yes, when you get excited. So if anybody has a little dog, why do they sneeze so much when they get excited? Love you. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna switch my camera angle and then you guys can watch me apply this. I'm just gonna go for this. I have an angle brush that I'm using. I think it's like 2.5 inches in width. Making sure that I don't have any little fuzzies or anything on the top of my piece. I always love to apply any type of top coat that I'm doing in natural daylight, so I can see exactly where it's going on my piece. Polycrylic, the one thing about it, you do not want to overwork it. So once you get it on, don't go back and forth. Don't overwork it, because if you do, you're gonna have lots of streaking. So my advice to you, get it on there. See if any little bubbles form. If they do, lightly go back over it to try to get those bubbles out. I have a few over here. So I'm gonna go over lightly, and that kind of causes them to pop. And I got some more over here. So with polycrylic, it is a little bit of a stinker to deal with. I think that's probably the one thing that I see online with people is application frustrations, because it is a very frustrating top coat to put on. So I see people with all their different little methods. Some people use a foam brush, some people use a regular brush, some people use sponges with like a nylon sock around them. Okay, I think I got all my bubbles there. So you can see I'm going slow. I'm trying to concentrate and talk at the same time. Easier said than done. It's kind of like rubbing your belly and tapping your head at the same time. I find other top coats are much easier than polycrylic. Polycrylic kind of gives me a little bit of an anxiety attack every time I apply it. And I got a little bubbles over here. That's what I'm doing. Just lightly, 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 just dragging my brush across to pop them. And again, this is in the super gloss sheen. And I'm putting this on. Polycrylic doesn't take very long to dry, which is great. You should apply at least 3 coats, especially to the top of anything that you're using this on. And again, the big plus to this, it does not yellow over white painted furniture. That's huge. I made that mistake once, learned a hard lesson. Got done painting this beautiful end table white, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna put poly over this because I need a durable top coat. Within minutes, I watched my beautiful white end table turn yellow. And then I started Googling and found out that it was oil-based, and yeah, that was my lesson. So I had to repaint it, and yeah, we all have those difficult learning curves in this business. You just gotta go with it. All right, I'm liking this. Looking good. You notice, you see how slow I'm dragging my brush across my piece? Because I want to make sure my lines are straight. And that's my crazy biscuit. What are you doing, boo-boos? Being nuts? Yeah? I think you are. And then after this coat, I will lightly sand. And when I say sand, I'm taking 400 grit around a felt block and very, very gently sanding in between coats. So there you go, you guys. It's not that hard. You're gonna find what works for you. Some people swear by a foam brush. Some people swear by like a regular brush like I'm using. Some people like the sponge method. It's all what works for you. This is what works for me, so I'm sharing it for you guys. I know polycrylic can be a little bit of an issue applying it, so that's why I wanted to create a video and share with people, hey, you know what, if you're having issues, this is how I do it. You can try my method or not, whatever. You at least got to see a cute little doggy in the video. This gets a little tricky here going around these little curved edges because you still want your lines to appear straight. And then I also make sure I have nothing on in my workshop, like a heater fan or the windows open, anything like that. You don't want any air moving around, especially when you're doing top coats. All right, you guys, I am done with my first glassy coat of polycrylic. And then I'll show you guys, I am done with my glossy application of polycrylic on the back of that Modern Glam vanity that I just finished. I said that that was going to be my last coat. I am going to add one more coat of the super gloss because I really, really want it to be just absolutely perfect. I am a perfectionist. So I'm going to add one more coat and I can't wait to finish that piece. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous when I'm done, and I'm so glad that it's going to have just like added protection with the polycrylic. It's going to have a beautiful shine to it, and that the customer can enjoy it for many years to come without having to worry about not having a durable top coat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about applying polycrylic. Please don't be afraid of it. I know I said it kind of gives me anxiety, but I think with any top coat, we all get a little nervous because you've invested so much time painting a piece of furniture. The last thing you want to have to do is redo it. So please take the plunge, learn how to apply it, get yourself some scrap pieces of wood and learn how to go across a piece of wood. Excuse me, I did that. I have scrap wood and I practice a lot before I start on a project just to make sure I have my technique down, make sure that the brush that I'm using is going to work. So again, I used a 2-inch angled brush, and that works for me for applying polycrylic. So if you guys liked this video, please like it, share it with your friends if they restore furniture and have any questions about applying polycrylic. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for watching another video. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. I believe if your computer and phone are full screen, my subscribe button is in the lower right-hand corner. So thanks again for watching another tutorial by Madeline Jean Antiques and Restoration. We'll see you guys soon.